Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Athena Amoeba, and today we are going to do a tarot reading for the week of I was gonna say January. It's definitely not January. July 23rd through the 30th. I'm not 100% sure yet if this is going to be a regular thing that I do on this channel, but I want to give it a try because it's something that has been part of my life for a really long time. So I hope you enjoy. Today, we're going to read from several decks, a tarot deck and 4 oracle decks. Yeah, we're doing the most. And this is just going to be a general reading for the collective consciousness. See what's going on with that. It's been a while since we've done one of those. Let's just take a look at the cards for this coming week. And yeah, we're doing it on Tuesday. It's not the start of the week, but you know, Tarot Tuesday. Tarot Tuesday is a thing. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. So obviously this upcoming week is going to be 1000% different for everybody, right? Like we all have our own realities going on. We all have our own universes. So the best way for you to take advantage of this reading is to reflect on how this relates to you personally and how this energy can best serve you in your life. So we're going to pull some cards from 4 different oracle decks, but before we do that, we do have a mini tarot spread. Now, the first card that came out is the King of Wands. So this upcoming week, there is some major King of Wands energy. This is really interesting to me because I was just reflecting on the court cards a couple nights ago. I personally struggle with court cards. I know a lot of people who do. I personally don't find them as easy to read as other cards. But when I had this realization about the court cards, it gave me a new perspective on them. So that being said, I'm excited that we got the King of Wands because to me, what the King of Wands is saying is that this week is all about owning yourself, owning your own energy, owning your space, owning everything about you. That's what a king does. A king owns everything. A king not only owns what they're responsible for in themselves, but in their external world, there's not blame placed because as the ruler, the blame always comes back to you, right? And blame is the wrong word. It's a wrong word. It's not about shame or guilt, but it's about responsibility. So with this King of Wands energy, it's about taking responsibility for yourself and taking responsibility for your environment in a way that serves you. Right? Because, and this is what I was reflecting on, the big difference between a knight and a king is that the knight seeks to blame the external world. The knight seeks to put the responsibility back on the world around him or her for their circumstances. Whereas the king takes all of the responsibility for everything that's going on in their external world. So like, even if it's not their fault, see, here's the thing, it's not about fault. It's just about responsibility. Even if something's not your fault, you can still take responsibility for external circumstances and decide to use the power that you do have to influence what's happening around you. This isn't saying that you have to take on other people's burdens or that you're responsible for fixing everything and everyone around you, but this is just saying putting blame on the external isn't going to help you. But figuring out where you can take responsibility for what's going on around you and focusing on that will help you, right? Because then you're focusing on solution. Then you're solution focused. Whenever we blame, we're problem focused. So I really like this King of Wands energy because that's what it's alluding to. So this week, really think about how can you own yourself? How can you own your energy? How can you take responsibility for not only you, but the environment around you? And the fact that this is wands shows that this is especially relating to your work, your career, or things that you're interested in, your passions. Where can you take more responsibility in these areas? Or how can you bring more passionate, excited energy to your life when taking responsibility for yourself and your life? So that is what this card is meaning today. Reflect on that and how that applies to you this coming week. Whenever you find yourself in a situation where you want to place blame, where you want to put it on the external world, just stop, reflect, and think, what ownership do I have in this? What can I do to take responsibility in the situation where I can to make things better? The other tarot card that we got for this week is the Knight of Pentacles, which is really funny because I feel like these two energies really conflict, right? On one hand, we've got the King, which, like I said, takes responsibility for everything, takes ownership for everything. On the other hand, we have the Knight, which is a little less mature, a little less experienced is the word I'm really looking for. And that still might be questioning, right? Because before the Knight, we have the Page. So the Page is brand new. The Page is totally naive. The Page is going into the world and really experiencing it for the first time. Then we have the Knight, right? The Knight has had experience. The Knight is questioning the world around them. The Knight is questioning, why are things happening this way? A lot of blame can come with that, right? A lot of focusing on the external world instead of the internal. Focusing on a lot of things that they don't have control over. So the Knight of Pentacles, out of all the Knights though, is the most well put together Knight, we'll say. They're still strategic. They think intentionally about what they do. They're a planner. But here's the thing. How do I say this? Here's the thing with the Knight of Pentacles though. The Knight of Pentacles, unlike the other Knights, which kind of like rush into things, are full of angst and blame and that kind of thing, the Knight of Pentacles doesn't have that energy so much, but the Knight of Pentacles is stifled by fear. The Knight of Pentacles doesn't move forward because they're afraid. They're afraid of the end result, basically. Like maybe they just don't feel prepared enough to move forward, so they don't. And that is kind of the opposite energy of the other Knights, where the other Knights are just moving forward, you know, without planning, without thinking, without structure and order, and kind of making chaos and making a mess. The Knight of Pentacles does the opposite. The Knight of Pentacles stays put until they have the perfect plan, until they feel fully confident in moving forward. Now, the reason why this is bad is because things are never going to be perfect. Things are never going to be, you know, things are never going to go according to plan. You know, as much as you want to plan, as much as you're prepared, things happen differently, right? And so this Knight of Pentacles energy is reminding us that it's good to plan. It's amazing to have strategy. It's amazing to, you know, create a vision and know in what direction you want to go. But at the end of the day, you still have to take steps forward. You have to keep going, because if you don't, then you end up stagnant and you end up stuck in the exact same place and you don't make any progress forward. So that's the message that comes with the Knight of Pentacles, is it's good to plan, great to you know, get your strategy together and know what direction you want to go, but at some point you just have to go. You know, you can't wait until you think everything's perfect. So these two cards together, the Knight of Wands the King of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles, is kind of showing us that the path forward is a combination and a balance between these energies. You must move forward. You must take responsibility for the circumstances in your life. You must take ownership of yourself, and you're not always going to be as fully prepared as you would like to be, but you just have to move forward confidently and stay focused on what you do have control over, which is you. You don't have control over, you know, the people around you or other things that happen externally, but you always have control over yourself, even if it doesn't feel like it all the time. There's reacting to life and then there's responding to life. And so you can always choose how you're going to respond, which is going to influence how things go. You know, even if you can't always directly choose or always directly influence the external circumstances in your life, what you do, how you respond, does make a difference. So that's what these two cards together are reminding us. So really reflect on that this week as the days go on. Finally, we also have the Magician, which beautifully kind of summarizes these two energies in saying, remember that you are the creator of your own life. You're the creator of your own universe. It can be hard to remember sometimes, but what this is essentially saying to us is that anything that you want to make happen pretty much can happen. You just have to believe in it enough. You have to be confident in yourself. You have to know the way forward. Like, of course, within reason, right? It's not like you're just going to snap your finger and make something appear or make something drastically change, but you can put in the work. You can start putting in the steps to create whatever it is that you want to create, to change whatever it is that you want to change. You are the magician. You have the power to create anything in your life. And so this week, really think about the direction that you want to go in and what you need to do, like what is within your power to make that happen. So that's kind of like the message for this week. In all honesty, that's a message like every day, but specifically this week, there's a call to really focus on that. There's a call to remember that you are a creator, that you have the power to focus on yourself. You have the power to direct your focus, harness your energy, and direct it in a way that helps you move in the direction that you want to go in, right? Okay, so that is the tarot spread for the week. Now let's pull an oracle card from each deck, and there are 4 of them. So first deck up is the Animal Oracle. And what do we have this week? What is the Animal Oracle energy of the week? Raccoon. Raccoon. Okay, raccoon. Masked marauder in the night. Resourceful, curious, tactile, resilient. Ceremony, ritual, the shaman's journey. Paying meticulous attention to hygiene and diet. Well, this week you might want to pay attention to your hygiene and diet. Aside from that last message, I feel like it goes really well with the tarot cards that we just pulled in the sense of being resourceful, curious, and resilient. This is really just reinforcing that you're on your own path. Like you're literally the only person on your path. So you're the only one who really knows the way forward. You're the only one who can pave the way forward. So be resourceful, be tactful in how you're going about your day-to-day life this week. How can you be more resourceful? How can you make things happen? How can you put things together in a way that only you know how to do? You know, only you could see the path forward. So be resourceful. And pay attention to your diet and hygiene. So that's the Animal Oracle of the week. Raccoon. We also have these Abraham Hicks cards, which I love Abraham Hicks. Please. I am a vibrational being, vibrationally emanating desires. And the card says, you live in a vibrational universe that is managed by the law of attraction. And so it is important for you to acknowledge that you are vibrational beings, constantly emanating vibrational signals of desire. And when from your human form, you offer a vibration of what you want because you know what you don't want, so you know what you do want, you cannot contemplate any subject without equal components of wanted and unwanted appearing vibrationally in your experience. So basically what this is saying is, you know, we tend to daydream a lot, but unfortunately, for the most part, a lot of us daydream about what we don't want. Like we think about, oh, what could go wrong? We think about what gives us anxiety and what we're afraid of, and, you know, things that we might be paranoid about, our fears. Our minds just tend to wander there for whatever reason. But you can try to focus more positively. Like if you're imagining a situation, instead of imagining what could go wrong and what you're afraid of, because I know that we don't do that intentionally, right? It's just like where our minds can tend to wander, but you can try to intentionally think about how it could go right. You could try to intentionally think about what it would look like, what it would feel like if things went the way you want them to, right? Because so often we tend to do the opposite. And so when we do that, we create a certain vibration. And what this is saying is that with our vibration, we tune into certain frequencies and attract those frequencies into our lives. So if you want to focus and try to attract something specific in your life, try focusing on that subject in a way that's positive. Like try imagining what it would be like if things go the way that you would want them to go. Or if you have a really hard time doing that, then try to focus on a completely different subject that you can feel good about, that it is easy for you to daydream about in a positive way. That's pretty much what this card is saying, and that's a really good tool to use to manifest and to tap into your creative energy as a creator in this life. So that's the positive message from the Abraham Oracle deck. Next is going to be a Oracle deck from the Wiccan Oracle. Card number 12, which it looks like it's Harvest, but we'll see. And the card is Mavon or Mavon. Forgive me if I mispronounce this, but it's the autumn equinox. It brings balance as night and day are of equal length. And the descent into darkness now begins. The harvest feast celebrates the richness of the summer's bounty and holds the message of preservation for colder months to come. This is a time of sharing, caring for those who are in need, and giving thanks. So this is saying that it's a time to count your blessings and be aware of how abundant your life truly is. Open your eyes to those who are less fortunate than you and offer what help you can. Trust that there will be enough for everyone. You can afford to be generous with your time, energy, and resources. Poverty consciousness sees only lack, worry, and stress about prosperity. Let go of those fears by giving thanks for what you have right now. The key words are abundance, harvest, and gratitude. The affirmation for this week is I have everything I need. The challenge and the question is, how will you share your bounty with others? So that is the Wiccan Oracle card for the week. I feel like it really goes along well with pretty much all the cards that we pulled. When you remember that you're abundant, when you give thanks for what you have, it makes being a creator and focusing on the positive aspects in the direction you want to go in much easier. So that again is just another tool for manifestation, but also gratitude just makes our lives better. Whenever we can focus on gratitude, it really does help lift our mood. It can change so much just to focus on gratitude. So remember that this week. Finally, I'm gonna pull a card from, I really actually like this deck. It's called Magical Spell Cards. This is a newer deck that I got, and I really like it because it helps to pinpoint kind of more specific areas in our lives. So let's pull a card and see what we should be focusing on or what we need to remember as this week goes on. Wow, okay, interesting, because the raccoon also mentioned this, but health. Health is going to be a big thing to focus on this week. Obviously, this is always important. We always want to be taking care of our health. Sometimes, though, it can get away from us, you know. Stress makes us eat in unhealthy ways, or we are not able to focus on our health as much as we would like when we get really busy. But this week, just take a pause. Remember to focus back on your health and yourself, because you're really important. It's important for you to be healthy. And this isn't just talking about physical health. This is just health in general, your overall well-being, your mental health, your emotional health, spiritual and physical health. It all matters. So make sure you're taking care of you this week. If you need to take a step back, give yourself some space to take care of you, please do that. That is what you need to do this week as well. All right, so that was the tarot reading of the week. That was the first one that we've done on this channel. Let me know in the comments below how you think this reading applied to you in your life this week. And let me know if you would like to see more of these in the future, or if you're interested in a personal reading for yourself. Until next time, y'all, take care of your health, take care of yourself, and remember that you have the power as a creative force in this universe.